A maid's daughter gave her last $5 to a stranded stranger, unaware she was helping a lost billionaire. She never expected that one bus ride would end with a shocking revelation. No pay, no ride. The driver's command was brutal, leaving a confused elderly woman shivering on the curb. 12-year-old Betsy froze. In her pocket sat $5, her family's entire emergency fund, essential for their survival. Using it meant no milk for dinner, but watching this cruelty felt worse. With shaking hands, Betsy jammed her foot in the door and dropped her last coins into the box. She didn't know she was saving a billionaire. She only knew she couldn't look away. A single tarnished quarter can weigh more than a bar of gold when it is all you have left. 12-year-old Betsy Miller stood on the corner of the wealthiest street in town, clutching a silver dog tag in one hand and her bus fare in the other. She watched the sleek cars glide by, wondering if anyone inside them ever worried about how they would get home. The autumn wind in Fairview was different than the wind in the east. And here on the wide, avenues lined with oak trees and manicured hedges, the breeze smelled of burning fireplaces and expensive polished leather. It rustled through the copper leaves with a gentle whisper, polite and reserved. In the East End, where Betsy lived, the wind had teeth. It howled through cracks in the window frames and carried the scent of diesel fumes and damp concrete. Betsy tightened her grip on the plastic grocery bag she carried. Inside were her mother's work clothes, a black uniform, and a white apron that smelled faintly of lemon polish and bleach. Her mother, Linda, was still inside the sprawling brick mansion behind the iron gates, finishing the floors. Linda had hurt her back the week before, a dull ache that turned into a sharp spasms by the afternoon, so Betsy had come after school, sneaking in through the service entrance to scrub the baseboards and dust the high shelves, while her mother handled the heavy vacuuming. It was a secret arrangement. The homeowners, the Harrisons, did not like children. They especially did not like the children of the help seen or heard. Betsy adjusted her thin denim jacket. She was small for 12 with blonde hair that she kept braided tight against her scalp to keep it out of her face. Her eyes were a pale, watchful blue, the kind of eyes that saw everything but expected nothing. Against her chest, hidden beneath her t-shirt, lay the cold metal of her grandfather's dog tags. They were her talisman. Sergeant William Miller, the medal read, a hero from a war everyone respected, even if they had forgotten his family. She checked the time on the old digital watch her mother had given her. The number 40 bus was due in 5 minutes. If she missed it, she would have to walk 4 miles in the dark. She reached the bus stop. A lonely bench situated under a flickering street lamp at the edge of the affluent district. It was the borderline. On one side, the mansion stood tall and proud. On the other, the road dipped down toward the highway that led to the factories and the Rowoses. Betsy sat on the edge of the bench. She wasn't alone. Sitting on the far end was an older woman. She looked out of place like a piece of fine china left out in a storm. The woman wore a coat that looked like it had once been camel hair, but it was smudged with dirt on the sleeve. Her white hair was pinned up, though several strands had escaped and blew across her forehead. She sat with a rigid posture, her hands folded tightly in her lap. Betsy studied her from the corner of her eye. The woman didn't look like the usual people who waited for the number 40. The usual crowd consisted of tired nurses, construction workers covered in drywall dust, and people like Betsy, invisible people. This woman looked like she belonged in one of the houses on the hill, yet here she was, shivering slightly as the temperature dropped. The woman turned her head. Her eyes were sharp, intelligent, but clouded with a sudden frantic confusion. She patted her pockets. She looked down at the ground. She checked the empty space on the bench beside her. "Is something wrong, ma'am?" Betsy asked. Her voice was quiet. She had learned long ago that being loud only attracted trouble. The woman looked at Betsy, startled. "My bag," she said. Her voice was refined, clear, but laced with rising panic. "I had a handbag. I placed it right here." Betsy looked around. The sidewalk was empty. "Did you leave it somewhere?" I don't know," the woman admitted, her shoulders sagging. "I went for a walk. The gardens were so lovely, and I just kept walking. I wanted to see the leaves turn. I must have set it down when I rested on the stone wall 3 blocks back." She let out a breath that was more of a shudder. "Oh dear, my phone, my wallet." Do you want me to run back and check? Betsy offered, standing up. No, no, the woman said quickly, waving a hand. I can't send a chill.